we can say, "Oh, I'd be better off if I could get to the gym and get that walk in and um, do all the things to build my relationships with my loved ones." And somehow, some way, those things become the second and third, and maybe no priority to them. So we know it's the right thing, but we don't necessarily do it. And I think that these relationships with carriers is the same thing. And again, I can tell you this, my own experience, trying to build a relationship with a carrier who doesn't see you as as a useful broker, not easy. There has to be they're not going to build relationships. They go, Joe, we don't run freight in your area very much. Oh, okay. Well, we're not gonna be friends anymore.
You're not going to invite me to the family barbecue? No, and that's so you bring up an interesting point there because again, I've never met a broker who says like we don't want relationships or we don't care about relationships. But figuring out how to actually do it is the tricky part. Like how do you actually go about because reps will get on the phone and say, "Hey, what do you like to run?" But if they're not putting that information in a central place that can be accessed by the entire team, if that information isn't being applied, fairly in real time to the freight that's coming onto the board, it doesn't really do that much good, right? If it's just going into a spreadsheet that rep has that's got 50 other carriers, like that's not going to be the most successful relationship. You're not going to get the most utilization out of that carrier that you possibly can. And that's again, it's tough. It's a harder habit to break for these guys because this is how they've done it, right? This is how they've wanted to do it. And it does take some organizational rigor to say, we're going to start to collect this information. Like we're going to do that. And the tricky part there is it's not always an immediate payoff, right? If you tell me your preferences and what you like to run today, I may not have anything for you there right now, right? But I can check back in a week, and if our freight matching it gets you a couple of opportunities, then you're going to see that come into play. And if in 2 weeks or a month, you still haven't got them any freight, that probably means that's really not the right carrier to develop a relationship with, right? Like that's not the guy to go with. But you have kind of the history, the receipts, if you will, as the kids like to say this isn't the right guy. We got to go find another carrier that's going to actually help us support the freight that we have.